we'll be focusing on a current affair capsule, a weekly capsule of an encapsulated form of current affairs. So, fine, very good. So, it's an encapsulated form of current affairs, but I call it, rather we call it a strategic analysis. I'm not interested in giving you the dry data. They're there in the newspaper. They're there everywhere. But how are we different? National IAS Academy, I always use the two phrases for this institute. Young boys, very passionate. So I call them as passionately professional and professionally passionate. The 2-3 boys of the directors, I know them. I've worked with them. So very professionally passionate and passionately professional. So their idea of giving course, IAS course is slightly different from other run-of-the-mill institutes. I'm not here to criticize anyone, but we stand apart. So when we got the idea that we'll try to do it, so we call it a strategic analysis, a weekly strategic analysis. Today is 10th. We have Lalit Kumar coming in, joining us. Welcome, Mr. Lalit Kumar. Where are you from? You smile wonderful. We know that. Where are you from, Lalit Kumar? Can you speak? Or you can type, either of it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Where are you from?
Good morning. I'm from Chennai, sir.
Chennai. How you are Tamil card, na?
Yes, sir. Settled in Chennai. That's
settled in Chennai, but not Tamilian.
No, sir. I'm my mother tongue is Telugu.
Oh, na. Inka Telugu word vachcharu maaku. Sunil Kumar kuda Telugu unnaru. Lubna Taj gar Telugu. Amatalta Kannadiga. So Tamilians unnaru. Nenu North Indian, nenu Punjabi ni. Maharashtrian Punjabi culture nadi. Kani maaku South India ante ishtam ekkuva. Na retirement tarvata nenu ikkada settle ayyanu. Anyway, come back to the session. You got delayed, but never mind. Very welcome to the class.
Thank you, sir.
Fine. But do come regularly. My point is, you come and show your face and go away. That doesn't serve the purpose. So today it will be a weekly strategic analysis. But today, this week is slightly different. A wide array of topics, as you got a message that we are going to cover it today. And as the management, the director says, it's very intriguing. Today's session is going to be intriguing. A wide array of topics, be it geography, then economy, the polity, a lot of things are there. Without wasting much of time, I'll take you through the journey now. Keep your paper and pen ready. Make notes. Make notes. All right. Take care of yourselves. Thank you very much. Let's join. Let's start with it. Right. So, weekly strategic analysis, otherwise called current affairs program. There's no denying the fact it's not current affairs. It is current affairs, but not a run-of-the-mill current affair part. It is strategic analysis. Right. The first one would be the Mopla movement. Mopla movement. Now you understand why I call it strategic analysis. I am not trying to make a run-of-the-mill history class it is. What exactly happened? What is the information we have about it? Mopla movement is rather a caliphate or a Khilafat movement. 1921, we all read in our history books. During freedom struggle, we read that Khilafat movement. All the time when we were preparing, because we are from North India, there's no hiding the fact. When our teacher taught us Khilafat movement, हमें हिंदी इतनी आई कि हम लोग सीधा सोचते थे कि इट वाज खिलाफत. Khilaf in Urdu means against. उसके खिलाफ, मेरे खिलाफ, आपके खिलाफ. वो खिलाफ मतलब against. अदु अर्थ बरते खिलाफ अंदरे. तो खिलाफत is against it. So without against the nation, against the Britishers and all. But actually the word Khilafat has nothing to against or anything like that. It comes from the word caliphate. The Islamic kingdom. Okay. That was the Ottoman Empire. It happened in the Greece, everything. And all the Khilafat movement is all about caliphate. So there was this Khilafat movement in 1921. So almost 100 years ago. Not almost 100 years ago. 100 years ago, the Khilafat movement started in Malabar area, Kerala. Okay, in a place called Malappuram. There is a district called Malappuram even today. So in Malappuram, it started. So what is different from this is this: it was only not against the British or national movement as we are perceived or we've been taught. That is the commentary we get it. So here where the story is going to change a little. Unlike the reality, it is something else. So the historical documentation, be it Romila Thapar or Krishna Reddy or Nehru for that matter, all that we read have some kind of showing that the Khilafat movement was a part of Indian national movement, which is not. Today the historians have perceived it as a different part of it. It was again the tyranny of the Hindu majority or a Brahmanical, especially the Kerala part. There was the Nambudri system. The Nambudris are those Brahmins of Kerala who have done some kind of injustice to the other people. So these Muslims, Moplas, Muslims, have turned against. So today, it was called as a more jihadi element than historical movement. So today we are going to see that we analyze it that way, that we can't be anymore the historical and Indian national movement struggle, but it was an uprising against the tyranny of the officials and also the caste-dominated society of those days. So here where the situation is changing now, we are going to observe it from a different perspective. So analysis goes, what is Malabar? Before that, I tell you, because in history, we need to learn from the historical perspective, historical point of view. So what is Malabar Rebellion of 1921? 100 years ago, it happened. Friday, August 20th, exactly around 10 days ago, it completed the centenary, 100 years of Malabar Rebellion, which is also known as Mopla. Mopla. Okay, Mopla in Malayalam language is a Muslim riot. Muslims have uprising. Muslims have hit back, unable to bear the tyranny. They were a marginalized section. They were a minority, but everyone has a point to wait. They hit back. Now, Muslim tenants against the British rulers of local Hindu landlords. It was the Muslim tenant people who were against the British rulers and local Hindu landlords. It was an uprising. It was to protect their own interest. They were fighting against their own injustice. So it is not that we can say that it was a part of national movement, is the argument that is coming across. So government is trying to remove the names of those people who sacrificed their lives during that time. It is not national, but it can be disputed, because when they are fought against the Britishers, it should be a national movement. The uprising, the revolt in August 29-21 went on for several months, marked by bouts of blood-stained events, a lot of bloodshed, khoon baha hai. A lot of blood has flowed. So across, a lot of damages have been done, either to men, women, property. Some historical accounts, some kind of old documents, archives, tells that loss of 10,000 lives, including 2,339 rebels have been killed. More than 10,000 lives have been taken away. For several months of October to August 21st, August 20, 1921, a lot of lives have been lost in this particular uprising. Now, this was taught to us. Even today, you study Krishna Reddy, Romila Thapar, Bipin Datta, and all these great historians whom we, as a part of civil aspirant, we study them. Never mind, the faculty would invariably caution you against certain elements of the historical perspective. But history is always distorted. In fact, it was my nemesis. To be honestly, I'm not that big fan of history as a subject. There are people who have mastered it, who have, as a part of my study program, I studied it. But I always had a different perspective towards it. But why people judge it from the particular angle? Why it can't be other way around? Example, whenever I was taught about Sri Krishna Deva Raya, Vijayanagar Empire, Saluva Empire and all, they taught me that Krishna Deva Raya was a great poet and he was a great cultural renaissance has happened. He brought about Hindu culture, everything. But according to me, he's only an imperialist. He took the help of Portuguese to defeat the Indian kings. So my perception is always different. Like you can have your own perception about it, but this being an analysis, we'll take it the way it is. So one of the first national uprising in southern India, 1921, the first ever uprising, revolt happened in India was the Khilafat movement or the Mopla movement. Right. It was a peasant revolt. Peasant means a small farmer. The small farmers have revolted against the landlord, the feudal landlords. 1971, when Kerala government had included a participant of rebellion in the category of freedom fighters. In 1971, the Kerala government added them as the freedom fighters. So freedom fighters do get a lot of benefits. So anywhere if the fellow would have been around 20 years old, so you could be around 70 years old, you'll be getting a lot of benefits as a freedom fighter. They get pension, they get railway, travel, a lot of things happen. So this was a picture, unrest in India, the Mopla rebellion of 1921. You can see how police have arrested them. And they are being taken to a prison or the punishment or whatever that is. This is one. And next one I'm going to show you is really a heart-wrenching scene. This is one particular photograph. In the picture, the painting, during the historical aspect of Indian national movement, a painting was created. During Khilafat movement, the Britishers have gathered all these prisoners, which you saw it in the last slide, and put them in a goods wagon, in a train that is meant for goods. So they don't have any windows at all. So they were stuffed in a compartment, in a wagon, and bolted it from outside and let the train go. It went for a few days and it came back. All the people who have been in the wagon would have died, either of hunger or asphyxiation or unable to breathe. So you can see the body being taken out from the railway wagon. Such a brutality was inflicted upon these peasants, small-time farmers who fought against the existing social system, the feudal lords or the landlords and all the Brahminical authorities on that particular part. So now the question has come after 100 years. The popular perception now is that it was not a national movement, it was to fight their own existence. The uprising is not for any national ideology, nationalistic ideology. The nationalistic ideology should have been there to get a nationality or get an independence and all, but nothing of that sort. It was purely their own fighting for survival. So now the trend or a talk has changed. The way we talk has changed because now we are almost 75 years of the independence. 100 years ago, what was the social system we had? That was not discounted. That was not taken care of it. We have been shown a picture that it was not a national movement. That's a bone of contention between all the leaders today. So in a place called Malappuram district in North Kerala, we can find this particular incident happened, which has led to the deaths of hundreds of Hindus in the Malabar region. Still remains a debated topic among historians. Even as I told you, many historians have divergent views on this particular incident. Now, when the analysis is going on, recently I did come across a lot of talk, a lot of discussions that happened, opinion have been shared and all. So we had a debate by dubbing the rebellion the first jihadi massacre of Hindus. It was the Muslim community of Kerala killing the Hindus only to bring the caliphate. As I told you, the word khilafat is not khilafat is against, but it is again a caliphate. That is the bringing the Islamic rule in the country. So, jihadi massacre of Hindus. This is a word used by a gentleman on a TV show. So I thought I'll add it. Jihadi massacre. Jihadi means I don't believe in the existence of the God or the belief system you have. I have my own belief system of believing in God and all. The person who doesn't believe in the existence of the Islamic method of worshipping is called kafir, means atheist. One who doesn't exist, who doesn't believe in the existence of God, or doesn't believe in this particular. And jihad is a term mostly misconstrued and misinterpreted as the one that person who doesn't believe in Islamic way should not be alive. I mean, he should not be alive. He should be killed. So this is a particular perception which has been shown to us, but it is not reality. Many countries appreciate Indian living conditions, Indian living culture. Many countries follow it. Fine. It's not that. I mean, it has been shown to gain a political mileage out of it by dividing the people and their mindset. But educated people seldom believe this. So the word has been, I underlined, I will put inverted comma, jihadi massacre of Hindus. No, they were fighting for their own existence. See, how the change of opinion can change the way we present it. It said history was distorted. Agreed. History may not be the same as we are being told to. Which began as a part of the Khilafat movement, ended up with the massive killing of Hindus. So, that was the basic perception of the historian. The BJP, the existing government, which won on a BJP ticket, blamed the Congress. Both, actually, one government, the party which is government is opposition would blame each other, trade blames, blaming each other. That has been there since my childhood and your childhood has been. For me, Khilafat movement a part of freedom struggle in the Malabar region. So Congress made, when Congress perception is that Khilafat movement is a part of national movement. When a BJP disagrees with it, it's a very constitutional idea they have, it's different. Right, which at the time was part of the Madras presidency under the British regime. So it was a part of Madras presidency and it was a part of fight against it. So large-scale conversion of Hindus to Islam. Like I told you that it's a jihadi kind of a thing and all. So possibly many Hindus might have converted into Islam to save their skin. Possibly we don't know. But whenever you come across Mopla movement and all, as far as the films is concerned, you will only know the date. August 20, 1921. Khilafat movement. Mopla movement is also called Khilafat movement. Yeah, that's probably can be the one. While writing a history essay, make sure you draw a line. Don't go to extremes of it. Take a via media approach in your essays. UPSC mains has this GS part, they have a very funny way of asking questions. Recently, in a controversial part, the Mopla movement and all that. What are the questions? Either give your views or discuss or examine and all. You have to take a via media approach. Be careful. Don't go to extreme. A civil aspirant can never take the extreme line of anything. We are the people who are trained to take a via media approach. So, you don't have to criticize, don't have to even honor somebody to bring a lot of praise for anyone. Take a via media approach. Justify the situation from your perspective. That's the very idea that generally I don't take historical topics. But this time I thought it was necessary for you to know what exactly happened here.